Okay guys, I don't know what I've done, but I picked a very large TBR for July. So if you watched my summer TBR video back in May, I talked about how I didn't really want to set TBRs for the summer. Well, I didn't for June, and here I am in July setting a TBR. I realized it's fun to tell you the books that I would like to read for the month, but I'm not putting pressure on myself. These are the books that I feel like I currently would like to read. If things change in July, they change. I think I have 2 books that are buddy reads that I kind of like have to read, and the rest are just self-imposed, and I'm not going to feel bad if I pick up a book that is not on the stack at all. I'm trying to tell that to myself now. So it ended up being 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 books long. That's not impossible. And I may even pick up 1 or 2 more of those off the stack in June yet, but let's just get into these. So, if all goes well, I will continue my read through of the Stormlight Archive. I'm currently on book 2. As of filming this, there are what, like 8 or 9 days left in the year, in the month. Oh my goodness. And I'm not even close to finishing Words of Radiance, so yeah, I have to finish Words of Radiance and then I gotta read this chunker. So that's definitely on my list. Then I've got another Sanderson book, you guys. This was on my list for May, I think, and I really want to read it, and I didn't pick it up in May, so it's moving over. This is Legion. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's fantasy. I think it's more like, I don't know. I'm gonna read it. Another one that was on my list for May is Anne of the Island. This is book 3 in the Anne series, and I am embarrassed I also didn't get to this in May. I really enjoyed book 2, so there's like no reason for me to not have read this. So it's kind of like guilting me here. This one is Land of the Cranes. This is a free verse novel that's kind of like on my list of ones that I want to read. It's about a family, right, who fled from Los Angeles to seek refuge from the cartel wars in Mexico. So I talked about this in my free verse novels video that I did recently. So that one, and like free verse novels are so fast, so that one will be easy to get through. Then Amanda from the Curly Reader recommended The Great Gilly Hopkins to me when I did my video on books about foster care, and so she said she really enjoyed this one and she was curious about my thoughts. So I'm going to read this one. It's middle grade, and I also feel like this one would be fairly quick to get through. Then I have Maybe, which I talked about as like my favorite free verse novel. I just want to do a reread of this. It's kind of like Little House on the Prairies in free verse form. So there's that. See, we're just cruising through these. And now the rest of them might take a little bit more time to talk about. This one is a non-fiction book, Love Where You Live, How to Live Sent in the Place You Call Home. I love to travel, but for various reasons, we have not traveled anywhere really since we came back from South Africa with my son. That was 6.5 years ago. We went to Mexico one time. Other than that, we haven't gone anywhere. And I really don't see travel happening in our future because of fostering and, I don't know, because of the world the way it is now. I think travel prices are going to go up, and I don't want to be around all the people that are traveling. So I'm here and I want to love where I live. I've never actually heard of this author. I honestly just picked this up because of the title and the subtitle, so hopefully it's good. I have read a few books kind of along this vein over the years, and yeah, I feel like just some more encouragement to love where I live is exactly what I need, like, frequently. Okay, and then our buddy read for the month of July is My Life with the Liars. So excited about this. This is a middle grade book about a girl that has just escaped a cult, I believe, and that's really all I know. And I really have enjoyed Kayla Carter's other book that I read, Forever or a Long Long Time, so I have extremely high hopes for this one, and I'm hoping it does not fail me. Then I want to finish the entire Enola Holmes series, so I read book 1 back in March for middle grade March and March Mystery Madness, and then I read book 2 this month, and I'm currently reading book 3, so then I've got book 4 and book 5 and book 6 left to read. And then I have the NetGalley. They've got like a new book coming out. I don't know if it's like book 7 or what, but there's another book coming out in the series. This last one I think was written 10 years ago, and the new one comes out in August, so I would like to get to that before it actually comes out. So there's those, and those are fast reads as well, so I mean, I have a lot of quick reads in my stack of 18 here. And then I have Evil Under the Sun. This is an Agatha Christie that I would really like to get to this month. It's a Perot one, and I really don't know anything. The beautiful bronzed body of Arlena Stewart lay face down on the beach, but strangely there was no sun, and Arlena was not sunbathing. She had been strangled. One thing I like to do with Agatha Christie is read like the first sentence. I feel like sometimes she does it really well, and sometimes she doesn't. When Captain Rogers Angmering built himself a house in the year 1782 on the island of Lethercombe Bay, it was thought the height of eccentricity on his part. Well, that just goes to show you that I cannot read aloud, and that was not that great of a first sentence. Oh, I have The Silent Patient. I don't know anything about this other than it's some kind of thriller. I don't even know what kind. I don't really care. I don't like to know too much going in. I just know it's a thriller, and I have heard of friends of mine who have enjoyed it, so that's all I know. And it's been a little while since I've read like any thrillers, but when I was reading them, like they're really fast reads often. It's like you just kind of have to sit down in a chair for like 3 hours and not get up until you're done. A few more books here. This one I just hauled in my recent haul, Uninvited. Holly and I hauled Holly. We are going to be buddy reading this in July. It is Living Loved When You Feel Less Than Left Out and Lonely. And it's, yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm reading this with a friend of mine because it's all about feeling left out. But I feel like this last year, everyone has kind of felt a little bit left out and lonely, and I think this will be good. I wanted to read just like a little bit here. It says, with biblical depth, gut honesty, vulnerability, and refreshing wit. Ooh, I really like wit, so that's good. Lisa will help you stop feeling left out by believing that even when you are overlooked by others, you are handpicked by God. Change your tendency to either fall apart or control the actions of others by embracing God-honoring ways to process your hurt. Know exactly what to pray for the next 10 days to steady your soul and restore your confidence in the midst of rejection, and overcome the core fears that feed your insecurities by understanding the secret of belonging. So I'm looking forward to that. Someone's trying to get into my room. That was creepy. My door like rattles when the outside doors open, and I think one of my kids went outside, so it sounded like someone was like trying to like pick the lock or something. It's not even locked, but it sounded like it. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I have another nonfiction here. Scoot over and make some room, creating a space where everyone belongs. Funny that both of my nonfiction picks have something to do with belonging. So this is a Zondervan book. I don't know this family at all. Heather Avis. I don't follow them online, but after reading Love Without Borders a few weeks ago here in June, I was just intrigued. So this is another adoption story. Take a breath, whisper a prayer, laugh a little, and make room for the wildflowers. So they have 3 adopted kids, and she's made it her mission to introduce the world to the unique gifts of those pushed to the edges of society. So I don't know, but I'm curious. So I think this will be another fast read if it's anything like Love Without Borders, because I read that one within 24 hours. And then this one I got from that surprise Christian book mystery box that I got a while ago, and this one is like the one that really piqued my interest. This is The String. So this is a Rebel published book, and I believe it is from the viewpoint of a serial killer. It says, welcome to The String. Let's go over the ground rules. Rule number 1, participation is mandatory. Rule number 2, if any one person refuses to play, the threats to all players will come to pass. Since this is my game, allow me to introduce myself. I am the conductor. Just as musicians in a symphony must follow the conductor's direction, the selected students and staff of Trenton University must submit to my commands or risk massive chaos and deadly consequences. Even that pesky university cop who thinks he'll find a way out of the impossible dilemma in which I've trapped him. Oh, the surprises I have for him. Ready to play? So this kind of sounds a little creepy, but I think it's an interesting side of things. Normally with like mystery suspense books, I don't like it when an author gives you a glimpse into the guilty person. You know, like usually like you're following the people that are trying to solve it, and then they give you glimpses into what the murderer or whatever the guilty person is doing, and I don't normally like that, but I feel like a whole book from that perspective might be different. I'm curious. Oh, and then I also talked about this one in my last haul, Argosy Junction. This one, Shalise from Sodbuster Living and Read Another Chapter. I always like stumble over that and. She sent this to me. Her mom wrote it, and she said that there's like a bit of a church cult aspect going on, and you know, this will be my second cult book of the month, so I have a thing for cult books. Definitely leave me more suggestions because I've been enjoying them. Yep, so there's that one. And the last book. I think this was on my summer TBR. I don't think it was on my, it might have been on my May TBR too, but I think maybe summer. This is Carrie Stewart Parks's Fragments of Fear. This one really stuck out to me when I read the back when I hauled it, because it's all about, it says, Evelyn McTavish's world came crashing down with the suicide of her fiancé. As she struggles to put her life back together and make a living from her art, she receives a call that her dog is about to be destroyed at the pound. Except she doesn't own a dog. The shelter is adamant that the microchip embedded in the canine with her name and address makes it hers. That I've only read the first paragraph, and like, I'm so intrigued. And Carrie Stewart Parks, I don't know, this is Thomas Nelson. I gotta have a video all about like Christian publishers and like, what does that even mean? I feel like there's not a whole lot of like faith element in her books, but she has some other elements that make them different than the normal like Christian suspense books, and I really appreciate that. So I'm curious about that one. There we go. There is my 18 book long TBR for July. Curious to see how many of these I actually read, because I'm like, right now I'd be interested in starting any one of them. So hopefully I still feel that way all the way through July. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.